with the congenital hip dysplasia as an infant. So my parents were told that I will eventually need a follow-up surgery as I age. Back in 2013, I was quite an avid runner, thinking that running might be a great exercise for my hips. As I was going into my 10K mark, I felt this crack, like I was no longer able to run. It took me well over a year when I was finally referred to a first orthopedic surgeon at St. Mike's Hospital. And after taking a first look at MRI and my x-ray, he said, "Girl, you just need a hip replacement surgery." I was expecting the traditional protocol of having to stay in the hospital for 3 to 4 days and heavily sedated, and I'll be gifted with the morphine pump. That's what I was saying. So I actually went to the Women's College Hospital for the first time for my pre-surgical appointment. I was welcomed by a great team of nurses, anesthesiologists, clinical pharmacists, and the surgeon. It was a great team, and they had explained to me step by step of what I could expect and whatnot. And yes, they did confirm on that day that yes, it is a day surgery. You come in to check in at 8 a.m. and you'll be out by about 2 or 3, sometime around there. And I still could not believe it, but they had explained to me thoroughly that they had developed a new way of operating hip dysplasia. And then that's when I was also introduced to this little iPad that they said that I will be sent home. And they said this is a virtual app that will monitor your recovery once you go home. Easy enough. The question, all the questions that they will prompt you is all like, it's almost like multiple questions from the level of 1 to 10. What's your pain level? What's your nausea level? Etc. etc. And so I said, okay, no problem. The surgery day came. The surgery was a success. Apparently, my surgery only took about an hour and 15 minutes. All in all, from the beginning to an end, it was just 8 short hours, but I was really taken care of. And I was able to go home in my husband's small hatchback. It was not an ambulance. So, and then of course, I took the virtual app or the iPad with me home. And then the care was immediate. Like they had followed up on my level of like nausea to my discomfort, pain level from that evening onward. And I was, all it took was just quick click, and then there was somebody looking out, and then also making suggestions on what medications I can take at that point. So I felt very comforted that I was being connected. And now, my husband was wondering, like, I wonder if this is just automated. Like, well, I don't know, maybe is it like, how does it work? Just to give you an example of how well taken care of I was, there were a couple of times that I just slept through the ding. Because of course, I just came up from the hospital and I wanna milk, I wanna milk all the benefits of being in a rest and recovery mode, and everybody's feeling sorry for me. So I was taking a deep nap, and then I guess it was dinging, and then of course I didn't answer. And then next thing you know, the iPad is now ringing, as in like a phone mode. And then there came a nurse on a FaceTiming me. It's like, how are you doing? We're just checking in on you. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. So I felt a little guilty, but I felt absolutely comforted by the fact that they're on me. And they really hold you responsible to be an integral part of your own recovery too. But on top of that, like being able to recover in the comfort of my own home. I have a young child, he's 11. He needs his mom. And I mean, he was extremely worried about the idea of me going into a hospital and going through this operation. But being able to come home, like just shortly after he came home from school, was extraordinary. Sure, I was using my crutches and so forth, but the point was I was alive and I was there for him. And he too was able to be a part of my recovery. And I think it meant a lot to him and to my family as well, and that they were able to be with me. So again, I cannot thank you enough, like for all your help and contribution. And I'm the living example of how your contribution is helping the hospital. And hopefully this kind of technology will spread throughout the province. Thank you.